before I get started, let me please just nick 30 seconds of your time to promote Hammers Chat's raffle. Got 3 really big prizes. We have got a match-worn Mark Noble shirt, the NHS one, the one from COVID, very, very rare. We have got a signed Farewell Boleyn Mark Noble West Ham shirt. And we have got a Mark Noble captain's armband. The link's in the description below. It's £5 a ticket. It's open for about a week. If you buy 2 tickets, you get 3 entries, if you know what I mean. You get the third one free. We've had loads of winners so far. Go and check it out. Link's in the description below. We'd really appreciate it. It's a great way for you guys to support Hammers Chat, and it's a really, really good way for you to win some prizes. I'll say no more about it today. It went over 30 seconds. I do apologise. I didn't do a video yesterday. I wasn't even apathetic. I was so downbeat after the Callum Wilson news. I've got to be honest with you. I just couldn't be bothered. I couldn't be bothered. Wasn't even refreshing my phone, right? Because it was. I can't think of too many things. A loss is different when you lose a game, but listen, I can't think of a transfer or a signing I have been more deflated by than this. Wasn't just the signing. It's not just the signing itself, and so I'm going to make this point. Was what it symbolised. Symbolised so many backward steps. So whatever we thought we were getting when we were appointing a director of football, clearly that hasn't happened. We have regressed so much. So much. So I couldn't. I thought, I can't. So anyway, as you watch this, basically, as you watch this now, you're watching this on Thursday. I'm recording it very late on Wednesday, very late on Wednesday night, because late Wednesday night I thought, you know, I'm going to pick up my phone. I'm going to have a little look, see if anything's happened. Nothing has happened, right? Not at the point where I record this. But there was a post on X, on Twitter, which really resonated with me. I thought this is an excellent post, and really well said. I don't know if you can see it there. West Ham Report, from a page called West Ham Report. Just so much common sense in this. He says, he could be a she, I don't know. Whoever does West Ham Report, anyway. If Wilson does sign, he'll have nothing but my unwavering support for pulling on the shirt. He should not fall victim to our frustrations and our utter contempt of David Sullivan. It's another example of why David Sullivan is not fit to own this club and take it for any further forward. I mean, it says it all for me. That says it all. Not only we're not going further forward, but we're going backwards. That's how it seems right now. Any progress we might have thought we were making, any excitement, any buzz that we might have had that we're going to revamp and get a younger squad, it killed it. It killed my. I've got to say this. It killed my enthusiasm. That's what I was trying to say. Signing killed my enthusiasm, but it's not Wilson's fault. That's the first sentence again. If Wilson does sign, he'll have nothing but my unwavering support for pulling on the shirt. He should not fall victim to our frustration and utter contempt for David Sullivan. The frustration is not with. It's not with Wilson. It's because of what this symbolises. It's because it feels forced on the manager. It's because it feels like the only person this benefits is the agent that's done the deal. I don't want. I highlighted this in the when I did Tuesday's video, which is the last video I did basically. I don't want to feel this way when we sign a player. I want to be excited. It would be nice if everybody was young and had their whole career ahead of them, of course. But we are West Ham, and I do understand we're going to sign experienced players. And I want to be excited. I want to be proven wrong. Craig Dawson taught me that. That signing taught me that. But this is so much worse because, as I mentioned a couple of days ago, that was very much David Moyes' signing. It was a different dynamic. There wasn't a concern when we signed Dawson that he'd been forced on David Moyes. I don't remember that. I remember myself and Gio were live when that news broke. And yes, don't get me wrong, I was underwhelmed. But it was very much, why are we signing a journeyman? Why are we signing somebody? I think it just got relegated, hadn't he, the season before? Why are we signing this guy? It was never a case of this guy's being forced on David Moyes. In fact, so this is a David Moyes type signing. So we have a frustration that this signing has been forced upon Graham Potter. But that is not Wilson's fault. And I keep looking at it and I think, who benefits from this? Well, I've just said that. But it's like the West Ham report. He should not fall victim to our frustration, utter contempt of David Sullivan. Who else falls victim? I mean, this is the thing. He's already... He's going to be joining a club where he's not wanted by the fan base. And that's a real shame. And this should not be happening. This should not be happening. As I understand it, he's taking a low wage to join. I remember when Mido did that. When Mido, because he wanted to prove himself, I think it was like £1,000 a week or something like that, just to prove himself. Okay, it didn't work out, but fair play to him. But it is what it symbolises. This is not going to be easy on Wilson, because not only has he got a fan base that don't particularly want him, he's got a manager that doesn't want him either. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think there's going to be any bitterness or anything like that. Potter will try and make it work, but you've only got to listen to what Graham Potter says. When Graham Potter was talking about the pre-season trip to Germany, wasn't much talk about tactics, wasn't much talk about fitness. It was about the group, about creating a family atmosphere, trust, personality, character. It's clearly about getting the group familiar with one another. It's why he took Crescencio Somerville over there, even though he wasn't going to be playing. So when they were doing the fitness stuff and all the rest of it, whatever, he'd go and do something else and the players would do the drills. But it was important to have him there for the meetings, for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, supper, supper. Anyway, it was important to have him there for the group. He very much got in his mind a group dynamic. The tactics and stuff like that will come later, but certainly Potter did not factor Callum Wilson into this group. We get to the tactics now if you want. He certainly hadn't factored him in, I don't believe, to the tactics and stuff like that. Must be difficult, actually, even last season, for somebody like Danny Ings, because I just think that's what we're dealing with here. To have somebody like that. And that's why he still found some usefulness for Cresswell. He found some usefulness for Coufal. But he got rid of them because he knew they weren't going to really be involved. And he doesn't want people, I guess, loitering around on the periphery. I would say he probably rates, I don't know about Ings, but I think he certainly would rate Coufal and he would rate Cresswell as players. I think he certainly likes them both as characters and personalities. It wasn't that. It was just purely a football decision. It was a business, not a business in terms of money, but they don't factor into his planning, and they're probably a bit too old, and so on and so forth. Well, this is what Wilson is. It's not Wilson's fault either. Wilson's not been blessed with the fitness that someone like Thomas Souček has. He gets broken. What was it? We wrote it down the other day. Gio told me 357 minutes, no goals. That's not his fault. He's clearly learnt to play football. He's a talented player. He knows where the back of the net is, but his body's just not working for him anymore, and that's a shame. And he wants to prove himself. And I can't think of a more underwhelming arrival than Callum Wilson. But of course, like West Ham report said, when he pulls on the shirt, I'm going to get completely behind him. I really am. But it's hard. That doesn't mean I can be excited about it or I'm looking forward to it. I actually feel bad. I feel bad for everyone. I feel bad for Potter. I feel bad for Wilson. I feel bad for you. I feel bad for me. I feel bad for the press people. The media department have got to somehow We were looking forward to seeing Magic Juff. We were looking forward to that. The reveal, when is it? When is it? We're going to see him holding up the shirt. See all that stuff. Did you see? It was like an unboxing. There was like a crate. The first thing they did, there was a crate. I thought he was going to pop out of it. Walker Peters had a box as well, a crate. I don't know what it is, man. They're using the boxes, whatever. But what my point is, the people in the media department can create that video, that presentation, and all the stuff that goes with it, the short one for social media, the longer interview that they'll do on YouTube. They can produce all of that stuff, knowing that it will be well received. There's an excitement to it. People are looking forward to it. They've now got to try and weave some positivity and weave their magic and present a player to us. They've got to package it up. They've got to present a player that nobody wants. And that's tough for them as well. It's tough for them. It's awkward. It is awkward. Maybe I'll do an Andy Irving and not mention it. Just don't mention it. Just give him a shirt number and we'll just see him on the bench for the first game of the season or whatever. And I feel sorry for him. He's just trying to get on with his career. He's trying to get fit. He's going to try and play, and he is exactly what that tweet said. He is falling victim to the contempt and the suspicion that we've got for the way he was signed, the manner of his arrival, the fact that it was so utterly predictable. And as I say that as somebody who thought, there's no way this will happen. There's no way this will happen. There's so many conspiracy theories over the last few days. One of them, and it was this more than anything, I thought, I just got to shut down from this. This is just too much. One of the conspiracy theories was, and I understand why people jump to this stuff, right? Because you're thinking, surely this can't happen. One of them was that the story was leaked that we weren't going to sign any strikers. So as when it was eventually announced that we would sign Callum Wilson, we'd all be pleased. We'd all go, hey! Party poppers. That's not a party pop. Or whatever. We'd all think that's better than nothing. Well, of course, it's a nonsense. Firstly, no one's stupid enough to believe. No one's stupid enough to do that. No one's thinking, oh no, we're not going to sign any strikers, not going to sign any strikers. And then 24 hours later, go, oh, thank goodness we got Callum Wilson, right? Because that just, people aren't. It's a bit like that one. You ever heard the one where West Ham release leak news that we're going to sign somebody, right? West Ham are going to sign Marcus. I say that because he's gone Barcelona. West Ham are going to sign Marcus Rashford, and it gets leaked, so as people go and buy season tickets because of it. It's a nonsense. No one does it. No one thinks, oh, do you know what? Look at that. Look at that. I've just looked on Facebook, and we're going to sign Marcus Rashford. I'm going to phone up the ticket office. Yeah, you can take me 700 quid or whatever. I just don't think anyone does it, and that was never going to happen. The other thing is, it would indicate that they care. That the club care, that the people that have signed and done this whole thing with Salthouse and signed Callum Wilson care. That the fact they're willing to put... They don't care. They don't care. They don't care what the fan base think of this signing. They just don't. And then there was... And you heard the stuff... And I only found this out I'll probably half hour before I recorded this. That some people were saying they don't believe it was going to happen. They're not going to believe. Don't believe that we're going to sign Wilson. I'll tell you what that is. That is just. I mean, but when I say did they thought it was being put out there as a false story to cover something else that was happening. I mean, that's just hope, isn't it? That's all that is. This can't be true. It's disbelief and hope. This can't be true. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him that he's part of this, that he's been embroiled in signing for a club that is... I mean, we seem to have completely lost our way. Did a video, whenever it was, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, whenever, right? And I said we really need Graham Potter to be successful now. I said at the time, because if he's not, whatever the next version is, whatever happens, if Potter were to lose whatever his first, however many games, and in November we replace the manager, whoever comes in then's worse. I'm telling you, they're worse because we are getting worse. The way we're doing everything is just look at everything we're doing. It's going backwards. It's going backwards. I am talking about the structure. Actually, sorry, let me just quantify that. Almost everything is going backwards, apart from what possibly Potter is doing. Potter's trying. He's swimming against the tide. He's trying to appoint new coaches. Him and Macaulay are trying to appoint new scouts. And I don't know what, he must be. There's another victim, Macaulay. How frustrating must it be to try and modernise and to try and take a club forward, only to and do your scouting and appoint data analysts and really try and plough forward with this mandate. You believe you've been given a mandate to bring in younger players, and then just someone above you goes and signs Callum Wilson, who won't have been a part of any conversation. When Carl Macaulay and Graham Potter sat down to discuss what their plan was, to strategise in terms of their recruitment, Callum Wilson wouldn't have been part of the conversation. I'm really, really, really safe and happy with that comment, by the way. Do I know? No, I don't know. But I'm as certain as I possibly could be. It's about... I love me restaurant analogies, me chef analogies. I'll do another one. Honestly, I'll do another one. It is like hiring a chef for a restaurant and saying we're going to completely overhaul the menu. We're going to get rid of all that fast food, all the greasy stuff, all that stuff. We were getting all the fried bread, all of that. Right? We're going to go organic, and it's all going to be salads. It's going to be this, and I'm going to appoint a chef, and I want you to everything fresh ingredients and do this, and you know what I mean? Make all this healthy stuff. And then you just go and just say, oh, by the way, there, I'm going to appoint a second chef underneath you, and he's going to basically cook battered spam. I'm sorry, I don't mean to. I'm sorry, I'm not. I guess I am inadvertently. I don't want to compare Callum Wilson to battered spam. Battered spam? I don't. That sounds really insulting. It's an analogy. Because I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. I probably said too much. This is overwhelming. This is underwhelming. I don't know what whelming it is. It's bloody well. We'll just go with whelming. It's whelming. It's driving me delirious. I have a hope. I will finish with this final word to you. This final hope. I can only hope that this is some form of compromise, where Potter has been given a budget and then Sullivan has said, you can have him, this is not part of your budget. And actually Potter has probably decided, right, whatever I've got, that 40 million that I've got, I'm going to spend it in my way. Hopefully we get that. Hopefully we get the player. Hopefully Potter and Macaulay still get the players that they want. But again, I'll go back to it. You still have somebody, poor old Wilson, signs for the club. Look how infrequently Danny Ings got played last season. And I do wonder if Wilson signs for West Ham with the best of intentions, not knowing what he's walking into. Because his agent ain't going to tell him. His agent, if his agent's Will, well, his agent is Will Salthouse. His agent's not going to tell him that's a shit show over there. They're not happy. They'll be telling him everything he wants to hear. He's got the internet. I hope you don't watch this. Particularly with a battered spam thing. I think he's a very talented striker. He's just broken, isn't he? And and he symbolises what we think is wrong with the club. I'll catch you later.